Well, hello. Welcome back to the Reading Room Success Stories. My name is Joyce, and I'm going to read the introduction to the next book. We'll be doing Pep Talk by Terri Savelle Foy. I know you're going to enjoy it. Let me just share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, what exactly is a pep talk? By definition, a pep talk is a noun meaning a talk intended to make someone feel more courageous or enthusiastic. A speech of exhortation meant to instill enthusiasm or bolster morale. Being a former cheerleader, Terri says, I know a thing or two about pep talks. Cheerleaders are devoted to giving shouts of encouragement to the team they're representing. Coaches give their team locker room pep talks to increase their stamina or to restore their determination to get back in the game. Employers give company pep talks to keep morale high and teamwork strengthened. However, on a day in, day out basis, you're not going to have your own Vince Lombardi or John Maxwell come along and cheer you on to achieve your dreams. I can't show up when your alarm sounds each morning and say, the secret of your future is in your daily routine. Let's do this. But everybody needs a pull yourself up by the bootstraps pep talk. What does God's word say we should do? David encouraged himself in the Lord his God. 1 Samuel 30, verse 6. This book is all about giving yourself a pep talk consistently and intentionally to achieve your dreams. Why? Because your voice is the most influential voice in your life. If you want to see where your life is headed, listen to the words that are coming out of your mouth. Your words are powerful. Your words spoken over yourself are even more powerful. Since I began making positive, faith-filled declarations over myself and my future, I have seen my confidence improve, my insecurities subside, my courage to go to new heights, my body get in shape, my ministry launched, my marriage restored, my books in bookstores, my ministry in France begin and expand, my icing women's event become a reality, my finances increase, my television show air, my impossible dreams come true before my eyes. Isn't that amazing? And the same can happen for you. Through my discipline of speaking daily declarations and faithful scriptures, I have more energy now than I did in my 20s. I'm more productive than I was in my 30s. I'm more confident to speak to thousands of people as opposed to shying away from addressing small groups years ago. My marriage has supernaturally been restored when it was on the verge of divorce. I'm happier, I'm healthier, and I attract ideas that produce great wealth. Is it coincidental? Not one bit. Everything I just shared is a direct result of what I've purposely declared out of my mouth consistently. To be honest, I'm naturally a shy person who has overcome tremendous insecurities, inferiorities, and a compulsive fear of rejection. That may be hard to fathom because I don't simplify that type of description anymore, but it wasn't by accident. It was completely intentional. I've known the power of words my entire life. You know, she's Jerry Savelle's daughter, so of course she does. I grew up in a strong household of faith and had Proverbs 18:21 memorized by age 5. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. If you jokingly said that scared me to death or I nearly died laughing at our house, you may as well have cussed like a sailor. You would be reprimanded for speaking such damaging words. If you're discovering this power that you have directly under your nose, If you're just discovering this power you have directly under your nose, then this may sound a little drastic. Let me explain. Mark 12:34 says, "For out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks." That's the Berean Study Bible translation. The Message translation of verse 37 says, "Words are powerful, take them seriously." Words can be your salvation. Words can also be your damnation. You're truly speaking death or life over your circumstances every time you open your mouth. Many don't realize how detrimental their words are in producing their outcomes. I've heard numerous stories of famous people as well as personal acquaintances who have literally prophesied defeat, in some cases, their own death. If this doesn't send chills up your spine, maybe it will encourage you to zip your lips. The former bass guitarist for the band Weezer, Mikey Welsh, predicted his own death on Twitter based on a dream he had. On September 26, 2011, the 40-year-old musician tweeted, "Dreamt I slept in Chicago next weekend, heart attack in my sleep. Need to write my will today." Wow. Immediately he tweeted a correction, "the weekend after next." 2 weeks later, on October 8, 2011, Welsh was found dead in a hotel room in Chicago at the exact time he predicted. While prescription drugs were found in his room, the suspected cause of death was a heart attack brought on by drug overdose. What did Matthew 12 say? Words are powerful, take them seriously. Another chilling story is that taken from Jimi Hendrix. Lyrics to a song he wrote in September 1965 titled "The Ballad of Jimmy." The lyrics included many things he would try, for he knew soon he'd die. Now Jimmy's gone, he's not alone. His memory still lives on. 5 years, then he said, he's not gone, he's just dead. Whew. Exactly 5 years later, Hendrix died on September 18th, 1970, just as he declared. One last gripping story to show the seriousness of our words includes a radio interview with former Major League pitcher Frank Pastore. After his baseball career ended, he showcased his talents as a sports celebrity on a daily radio talk show. The last show he taped featured a discussion on the topic of mortality. Pastore said, "You guys know I ride a motorcycle, right? At any moment, especially with the idiot people who cross the diamond into my lane, at any minute I could be spread all over the 210. Eerily, after finishing the show that day, he hopped on his motorcycle and proceeded down his normal route on the 210. Unfortunately, this time, another vehicle swerved head-on into his motorcycle, which led to his death. These are pretty dramatic stories of people prophesying their deaths. You may not be using your words that detrimental, but what are you saying? Are you speaking words of failure over your future? Are you agreeing with hopelessness? Are you declaring that poverty and defeat are your lot in life? Are you speaking words that are contrary to God's best for your life? I don't want to startle you with this book, but I do want you to wake up to the reality that your words are dictating the life you live today. And on that note, I heard someone say, Kobe used to always say, "I'll die young and become an icon." I'll die young and become an icon. And you know what happened to Kobe? He just didn't know he was going to take his daughter with him. Don't use your words to describe your situation. Use your words to change your situation. It's a quote from Joel Osteen. There are always two voices competing for your attention, the voice of faith and the voice of doubt. You cannot talk defeat and expect victory. Your words have creative power. If your dreams and goals appear absolutely hopeless and there's no indication that things will ever improve, as Joel Osteen says, don't use your words to describe your situation. Use your words to change your situation. I'm so grateful that my parents taught me the power of the tongue, and I've done my best to guard my mouth from speaking death or detrimental words over myself. However, I didn't necessarily practice the habit of doing the opposite, proactively speaking words over my future and giving myself a pep talk, at least not with any intentional effort. Like the Lord told Joyce Meyer, Joyce, you have to stop saying negative things. Oh, you have stopped saying negative things, but you have not started saying positive things. It's one thing to stop speaking negative, debilitating words over yourself, but you've got to take it a step further by replacing those words with positive declarations over yourself and your future. What are you saying about your life, your finances, your family, your health, your career? Your very own words shape your world. I'll never live in a house like that. I'll never have that kind of salary. I'm always sick. I have a slow metabolism. I'll never get promoted at this rate. I've reached my limits. I'm not qualified. I'm too afraid to step out and do something different. I'll always be in debt. No matter what I try, I can't lose weight. I could never be friends with them. I'm too shy. You have the ability to change the entire direction of your life with that little thing under your nose. It's as simple as it seems. Successful people take a proactive approach to their dreams. They don't wait to see what happens with their lives. They prophesy their future. Unsuccessful people speak of things the way they are as if they will always be that way. And the truth is, as long as you continue to declare negative statements over your life, then that's exactly what you will continue to experience. What would happen if you traded all those limiting, debilitating thoughts about yourself, your body, your finances, your career, your marriage, your children, and your future with positive motivational declarations of hope and faith? Your life would move in that direction. If your first image of yourself, of giving yourself a pep talk, reminds you of Saturday Night Live, Stuart Smalley, and his catchphrase, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me, then you probably think this is some kind of ridiculous skit or joke you're playing on yourself. I understand. However, you can't argue with the results when you've experienced dream after dream occur in your life as a result of speaking them out loud. You actually don't think of old Stuart as crazy. But be encouraged. I do not sit in front of a mirror and slowly talk to myself with a list. In 2007, I made a list of declarations to begin speaking over myself. To begin with, most, if not all of these positive statements were the opposite of what I was experiencing at the time. They were written and spoken by faith. Some of them included, I'm proactive, I'm in the best shape of my life, I'm bold and courageous, I am a voice impacting France for Jesus, I am confident to minister on television, I'm confident to minister to thousands of people. I speak at the largest conferences in the world. When I began this demonstration of faith, I had never ministered in the nation of France, and the largest crowd I'd ever spoken to was probably around 300 people. However, each morning before I would jump in my car and go to the office, I would go in my guest bedroom, grab my homemade notebook of declarations and speak them out by faith. We see this written in Isaiah 46:10, that God declares the end from the beginning. That's exactly what you're doing when you declare your dreams before they happen. I'll never forget the evening of March 12th, 2012, as I stood on the front row of the largest evangelical church in the nation of France. As I was preparing to take the stage, my daughter Cassidy leaned over to me and asked, "Mama, are you a little nervous?" Rightfully so, as I was preparing to minister to approximately 10,000 people in Paris, France. I answered, I'm competent to minister to thousands of people. I speak at the largest conferences in the world. Why would I reply so courageously? Because what you repeatedly hear, you eventually believe. And you believe your own words more than anyone else's. When you consistently give yourself a pep talk by declaring what you believe about yourself instead of what you feel, eventually your actions will line up with your words. In addition to positive declarations, there's nothing more powerful than speaking God's word out of your mouth. If you're wondering what God's will is for your life, His will is His word. When you align your mouth with what God's word says, you're activating the power of God to go to work in your life. This book is focused specifically on goal-driven declarations in the area of freedom, faith, finances, family, fitness, and future dreams and goals. In each section, you will be inspired by other people's stories of victory from practicing personal pep talks through positive declarations and speaking God's word. I've provided samples of declarations and scriptures for each section in order for you to get started down the road of success. So, what do you do? What do you want to see happen in your life? Whatever it is, start speaking it out. Declare the end from the beginning. If you'll change what you're saying, you'll change what you're seeing. So we know this is going to be an awesome book. Amen. Well, thank you for joining me today on Success Stories. God bless you. The Reading Room.